What's up, guys? Welcome to A Reseller's Life. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for joining me. In this episode, I'm going to go over my exact reselling process from A to Z to hopefully give you some inspiration. If you like this type of content, please smash the like button and subscribe, and let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is when I purchase items, I'm going to put them on the shelf to my left here. And this is my unlisted shelf. Items that come in are batched and put in here. And I'm going to individually process each batch. So I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to assign it a receipt number. Sometimes the items don't have receipts because I buy them at garage sales. I'm going to make a receipt for myself, number it just so I can reference it later in the future. I store all of my receipts in this accordion file. It's just based on months, all of my different receipts. I put them in here. I just use one credit card. I use the Capital One Spark 2% card, and then I use the Chase Sapphire Reserve for my personal card. So just two credit cards, one business, one personal, and then I have a bank account that's solely connected to all of the inputs for the revenue. So that just keeps it easier for me. I don't mix personal and business. That makes my life a little bit easier. So once the item comes in and has a receipt ID, I'm going to assign it an item ID. So each individual item gets its own social security number. I never reuse these. It's kind of a built-in return ID. So if an item gets returned, I know exactly what it is. And when I first get to the office, I walk around and I look for what spaces are available. So if A35 has 4 spaces, I'll write A35 on 4 different labels. And when I'm done listing it, I'll put those 4 away. Also, this helps me in case something gets mixed up. I can always go back and reference the one before and the one after and get a good idea of where it's located in my inventory. Otherwise, if I was just randomly doing it and I lost an item, I would never be able to find it. I have 525 bins. And each one can store between 8 and 25 items, depending on what they are. And I also have 4 rolling Z racks. And these 4 rolling Z racks can store 150 to 200 clothing items each. So all in all, I can store between 7,000 and 8,000 items in this facility. So once the items are inventoried into the system, they have a receipt ID, an item ID, and a location ID. And I'm going to give you a super straight overview on how to keep track of everything. So step 1, you buy the item, it comes in, you're going to record which receipt number is it, what day is it, how much did you pay for each item, how much are you trying to sell for, what is your source, where is it going to live in your inventory system, what bin or shelf, enter in the ID number. That's it. Should take under 30 seconds when you get the item to enter each item in individually. It kind of sucks, but it's worth it. Step 2, you're going to list the item on the different sites that you want to list on. I personally list on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. Step 3, once the item sells, you're going to bring it over your desk. You're going to write down which platform did it sell on. You're going to end it on the other platforms. Then you're going to mark down what day it sold, how much you paid for shipping, how much revenue you had, your PayPal fee, if there is one, and then the platform fee. Like Poshmark's like 20%, Mercari is 10%, and eBay is variable. So that's it. It's going to take you roughly 1 minute per item to keep track. You won't have any accounting to do at the end of the year. You'll know every single day where you're at profit loss wise. The net profit margin ROI are calculated for you. You can download this in my reseller field guide. There's a link in the description below. It's $70, half off, makes it $35 with code YouTube. So I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next section. So the next section is actually listing, and I'm going to go over my flow right now, which is I build the listings on 4 websites: eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. And then I actually take the photos after that. And the reason why I do that is because I usually find some more errors when I'm taking photographs, or I find some minor details that really help the item sell. I like to have the listing already ready to go so I can make the adjustment right there, AirDrop the photos in, and then launch it. There are other ways of doing this. Some people take the photographs first, all of their items, and then they sit separately and then list all the items. I personally don't do that because sometimes I get busy with other projects and I get interrupted, and then I have piles of photographed items, piles of items that are described, and then I have to figure out how to sync them later. So right now, I just use one system, which is listed or unlisted. I actually go all the way through the process. Because my listing process is so in-depth, I'm going to do a separate video on that. So we're going to go straight into photography right now. This is a last light highlight light box. It's a 7-foot by 6-foot giant light box. I use these Savage LED box lights as the lights for the inside, those left and right. The main purpose of this is for clothing. I hang most of my clothing on this backdrop mount, and that makes it really easy to get the pure white background without any post editing. You'll see here, I'll show you guys as an example on this pair of shoes. If you just tap the screen, sorry, this is hard to do one-handed, you can actually adjust the contrast and pretty easily take a pure white background photo without any editing. And I definitely recommend that you aim for taking photos without any editing just to save you time. There's a lot of software you can use after the fact, but if you can just take the picture right the first time, you don't have to spend a lot of time working on it. This is an Alvin drafting table, which is going to save your back. I pack all of my items in plastic right after I list them, and this is actually on a furniture dolly down here. So it's on wheels, and I can actually roll this in and out easily. I can also adjust the height of the table, which makes it really easy to roll in and out. But I want to give you guys a budget option. If you don't have the money for any kind of expensive lighting kit, what I would recommend is just get this marine vinyl. The reason why I say get it is because it's very easy to clean. I sell mainly shoes, so this gets really dirty, but you can just quickly wipe it down with soap and water. These vinyl pieces, I got this at Joann's with the 50% off coupon for maybe $11, but you can get it on Amazon for like $30. If you do the exact same setup where you touch the screen on a smartphone, you can take photos like this for under $20. Now that we have the photos on our phone or camera, we want to either AirDrop or Dropbox the photos to your computer. You can do this also by plugging your cord directly into your computer, depending on what kind of device you have. You just want this to work. So the simplest process you can make, the better. I personally use AirDrop one item at a time. We are now going to AirDrop the photos from this iPhone 6s Plus onto the computer. So on the bottom, we're going to select this photos icon, and now it should open the photos folder. Here it is. So then we're going to go back to the photos that we just took, take the copy of the 8 photos that we just took. On the bottom left, there's a square with an arrow in it. You're going to click that. You're going to select MacBook Pro or whatever your Mac device is as the destination. Accept the file on your computer. And now that it's downloading, you're going to open up the downloads folder. And in that folder, you're going to see all the photos that we just took for this. I do have 3 more sections for you guys where we prep the item before we put it away, shipping, and then also customer service. But this video is very heavy, so I'm going to cut it off a little bit short after I give you guys just a quick disclaimer. I get the question all the time, how long is this really going to take? And I'll give you a great example. I actually Googled how long does it take to make a WordPress website? And a longtime developer said, it takes about 5 hours to get going, to just get a basic website, plug in About Me, plug in a couple of products, contact me, go. That still takes 5 hours. You need to figure out all the different mechanics of it. It's the same thing with reselling. In order to figure out shipping, where to store stuff, I would say it takes about 5 hours to get started on your very first item, figure out a bunch of the basics of shipping, returns, etc., to get into it. But if you're looking to build an actual e-commerce website on the WordPress side, the developer said it's really going to take about 200 hours. It's going to be a multiple month project, but you really only need to do it one time to really understand how the website works, how you plan on doing marketing to get traffic to your website. And I feel like e-commerce and reselling and specifically is the same thing. This is not a quick process. It's like a 2 or 3 month consistent growth part where you're setting up your business, a couple of meetings with your CPA. And this is where I really do not want you to get discouraged. Reselling has been awesome for me. It's been one of the coolest occupations I've ever had. I've had a ton of different jobs, but mostly in sales my entire life. Reselling is awesome. I have met some amazing people. You learn a lot about history, and you are really close to the heart of entrepreneurship, which for me is just delivering something of lower value to a place of higher value. It's like the purest form. When you resell things, you learn the true value of things. You learn how to save money. You learn how not to waste money. And it brings me back to the saying that's like, it's very hard to overcharge somebody that does a lot of price research. And that makes sense. But if you are a talented reseller, you do a lot of price research most of the day to figure out what's valuable and what's not, and how to build value into items. So I want to just let you guys know you can reach out to me anytime at chris@dailyrefinement.com. This episode was really, really heavy. So I would very much appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe, because trying to explain this concisely is challenging for me. For some people, maybe it's really straightforward, but for me to try to make this condensed into a pill is extremely difficult. So make sure you bookmark this video, maybe share it with a friend that's also looking to get into reselling. And if you guys really can help me out, there's a link in the description below to purchase my reseller field guide. It's $70, half off, code YouTube gets you 50% off, so it's $35. That'll really help my cause and help me make more videos, trying to update the quality, trying to learn how to edit, trying to make these videos as short as possible with as much impact as possible. So again, appreciate you guys. Take care.
Love life, live it like we appreciate it. Think smart, think smarter, play hard, work harder. If you got a good girl, guard her. Treat her like the daughter of